Welcome back to Whitt Acres. It's a beautiful fall day out here and we don't have many of these left, so I'm going to utilize it to the best I can and dig up some dahlias, elephant ears, and my banana tree. So I'm going to be going around to a couple of different gardens and digging up any of the dahlias and elephant ears that I have planted. So I'm going to grab a few things and we'll head on out. You coming, pup? We're going to need some snips, wheelbarrow, and a shovel. I'm gardening here in zone 6A, so there's a few plants here that I can't leave in the ground over winter. So I'm going to need to dig them out of the ground, rinse all the dirt off, let them dry out, and then store them in the garage where it's going to stay above freezing all winter long. Then they'll go dormant. Next year I'll be able to pull them out, soak them in water, and plant them, and they'll be able to grow into nice beautiful plants again. The plants I'm talking about are elephant ears, dahlias, canna lilies, and a banana tree that I have here for the first time this year. Echo and I have been working on the pathways around the pergola, and I think they're turning out really well. They're not 100% finished yet, but I am liking the way they're looking right now. Out here we don't have any dahlias, but we do have elephant ears, and that is what's dying back right here. You can see a fresh one actually trying to unravel because we're having such nice warm weather, and a lot of the other ones already got hit by the frost. So we're going to be digging up all the elephant ears out here. We have one here. This is a patch of calla lilies, and the calla lilies will come back in the ground next year. So I even have a nice hedge of them going down the path over here, and they'll be just fine. As well as ending the path, I have gladiolas right here, and they'll be able to, as long as you have them mulched, I can actually see some of the corms right here, so I definitely want to get some soil and mulch over those and keep them covered, and they'll be able to come back next year too. But on this side of the path we have more elephant ears that are definitely going to have to be dug up, as well as a few more elephant ears speckled back into the garden here. So Echo and I are going to start up here at the pergola and dig up all the elephant ears I can find, and then we'll move on to the next garden. And we are getting to about a full wheelbarrow of elephant ears here. I believe I got all but one of them. If we come inside the pergola here next to the swing, we have the biggest elephant ear I had planted, and it is massive. Still have a nice fall leaf going right there, so that is gorgeous. But I'm gonna have to dig this one up and save it. And I think this one's gonna be pretty heavy. As you can see, I have dried gourds laying everywhere, and I am gonna go around and collect all these up, as well as go around and harvest all the new gourds that I grew this year. So if you'd like to see a video on that, go ahead and hit that like button, and if we get to 10 likes, then I'll go ahead and make that one. I'm gonna make it anyway, because I have a bunch of gourds here, but go ahead and hit that like button anyhow. Now before we clean up all the elephant ears, we're gonna go dig up all the dahlias. I only have one place this year that I planted perennial dahlias, and that is down here at the sun border of the vegetable garden fence. I called it the sun border because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. I just wanted to put some plants here to make the fence line a little bit more distinguished so the dogs didn't run through it and go into the garden. I put some perennials in here like Shasta Daisy, Echinacea. There's actually 2 artichokes I planted in here, so I'm gonna leave those in here and see what they do going into next year. But I also planted the dahlias, sunflowers, and a bunch of other annuals just for color. And which made me really want to do next year is to switch this garden up and make it a dedicated cut flower garden. So we did a pergola series where I was building the paths, did the brick edging, and doing all the garden cleanup, getting that area ready for winter. So we are actually going to come down here into the vegetable garden and doing another series where I'm going to be creating the cut flower garden, as well as getting the raised beds and the pumpkin patch winterized for next year. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. I'm getting everything coming out here from Whitt Acres. So I only have a few dahlias in this line, so we're gonna dig them up, take them over to the elephant ears, and I'll show you how I get them cleaned up. Like I said, I am going to come back down here and clean up this whole row, make it into a nice neat cut flower bed, and I'll probably keep a lot of these perennials in here for the color, and I might move some into other parts of the landscape. Now pop. I almost forgot, I have another big elephant ear down here at the vegetable garden. Right off the entranceway of the garden here at the corner, we have a big old elephant ear, probably the second biggest that I planted. So I'm gonna have to pull this one out too, and we'll get her loaded up. And that was a pretty big elephant ear. Let's go get these cleaned up. As you saw, I laid out all the dahlias and the elephant ears. I chopped off all the extra foliage with a machete and then used the hose on jet to spray off a lot of the excess dirt. I didn't get them 100% clean, but I got a lot of the excess soil off of them so that the sun can hit them now on this beautiful sunny day and dry them up. They're not going to dry completely in the grass here, so I do have something that's going to help them dry and get the air to circulate all around them. So I've used this before to help with the chickens and the ducks, but now I can reuse it as an air dryer. This is a little beat up, but it still has the window screen on one side and wire mesh on the other side, so it'll actually hold everything up off the ground. I'll just set them on top of the window screen, and that'll help the air circulate all the way around and help them dry and not rot out. That looks a lot better. I think they're going to dry a lot nicer this way on top of this rack. I do have to bring them inside under the roof tonight because we are supposed to get a frost. I didn't get them all to fit because some of them are bigger, but I'll actually put a fan on these whenever they're inside to help them dry, because you don't want them to stay wet out of the ground too long. They will start to rot and get soft. And once that happens, they are done. You can throw them in the compost, which is where the excess foliage is going to go. I think the inside of these look really cool. They are really similar to the banana tree, which I didn't dig up yet because it's in the pond here. So the banana tree has a really unique inside. It hits on the oval, goes around, touches the end, touches the edge, and then opposite side touches the edge, touches the edge. So it's really unique how it bounces around. And then it actually has channels going all through it, which the elephant ear doesn't have. And then I cut this down with a machete, very smooth slice right through it. And since I cut this down, which it was right here, it actually dried up and shrunk that far. This cord didn't move. The rest of it actually shrunk down. I think that's really neat. So this banana tree is actually a hardy banana, and it's rated down to zone 5, and I'm in zone 6. So technically it should be able to stay in the ground with a little bit of mulch, but this banana tree is not going to be here next year. I want to move it to a different location. So I might as well dig it up before winter and give it its best chance to survive. And then I can plant it out into the landscape in the spring. Might be able to have 2 banana trees next year. And that is an impressive specimen. I'm going to get her cleaned up and drying with the rest of them. You can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.